I wanted to do this a year ago, but I actually did this a year ago, and I ended up deleting it. I'm not gonna do that this year. But today is my death anniversary, and it's actually really close to the time. Um, I just kind of know when it was. Uh, because in my situation, I watched the clock furiously. Um, Now, I want to say in doing this, I know this is in bad timing. Uh, in the past couple weeks, I've had a couple of friends of mine lose family members. Um, so I'm not. That is not lost on me. If I haven't reached out to you, I'm sorry. I'm I'm not good with these things. So I'm sorry for your losses. Uh, Especially Chris, Michael, and David. Uh, I know I haven't reached out to you, but sorry about your dad. If you happen to see this, this video is to. I'm going to talk about my horrible day 2 years ago. Um, how I'm moving forward, uh, and and what I've been doing, and why I do these, like what I have been doing since then. Uh, oh fuck. So tomorrow, not tomorrow. I'm sorry. Yesterday is my 2 year anniversary of 100% tobacco free. Um, which is due to what happened today, 2 years ago. Um, and I know some people know the story, some don't. Maybe some people can find solace or help in this video. Know that you're not alone. I'm part of a very small group of people that have got to survive cardiac arrest. Um, I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Uh, so, uh, so 2 years ago, I was real sick. From smoking every year I got chronic bronchitis. But 2 years ago, I was literally sitting in my office just coughing up blood, not visible blood, but enough to where I was tasting copper. I decided to come home from work. I took a nap. I still like the last cigarette I smoked was February 6th, around 11:30 in the morning. Uh, Went home. I slept for 6 hours. I got up. I felt like shit. I was actually gonna have another fucking cigarette. I was looking for a lighter, and I coughed and cracked a rib. I had to call a squad. Um, Went to ER literally a stone's throw away from my house. Um, and I found out like I did crack a rib. I had pneumonia in my upper left lung. I sat on a table sitting very uncomfortable. Uh, like the hospital examination tables you go in when you get your checkup. I sat straight up on that for 7 hours because they couldn't get me an ambulance to downtown where I would end up being transferred to to be monitored. So, I sat there, begging and pleading every couple hours for painkillers for the broken rib or cracked rib. Uh, I'm dealing with pneumonia. By the way, I'm only going to give you information up until the points until I know them, just to give you an idea. So, I get transferred downtown around like 5 in the morning on February 7th. I'm admitted. This is literally the one time I will talk ill of a nurse. In seriousness, my admitting nurse was fucking horrible. I was in shit tons of pain. At this point, I'd probably been without painkillers 5 hours, I think. I was in a great amount of pain. I I sat there for 4 more hours. So about 5, 4. So 6, 7, 8, 9. It was about 9 in the morning. I asked her to get me 9 or 10 in the morning. I asked her to get me some painkillers because I was in such pain, and she said no. You're probably a junkie. And then I never saw her again. She still had a couple more hours in her shift, I believe. Well, she never came back in my room. I don't fucking know. Well, the shift change nurse comes in. She goes to get me painkillers. I'm even more pain at this point. They bring in a roommate, which I wish I had this dude's name because he's one of the people that saved my life. I ended up with the roommate. I got up because I don't know what, my body just had to piss, so I got myself out of my bed. Took a piss. Now when I went to go back in bed, I went into a coughing fit. I couldn't stop. That was extremely heavy. I fell into the bed, and what felt like a sword went down in through this shoulder into my heart. I can't. That was extremely painful. Just very, very painful, and it couldn't stop. I think because of the pain, or maybe my body was trying to get oxygen. I don't know what the fuck it was doing. So I finally stopped, and I just, because I couldn't grab anything. I'm laying face down on my bed with my head turned, and I asked the gentleman. I go, "Hey man, I need you to call the nurse now." And he does. They get me back up on the bed the way I'm supposed to be. And I'm telling the situation, and my nurse goes, "Honey, I need to have a RATS team come in and make sure you're not having a heart attack." I'm like, motherfucker. So she steps out of the room to go talk with nurses, and I go into even more pain. So I'm like, I'm trying to yell for help. I can't yell because I can't breathe. I can breathe. I barely can breathe. And I just go, "Man, I need your help." He goes, "I got you." And he got up out of his own bed. He's sick too. He got up out of his own fucking bed. He got the nurse. They kick him out of the room. Find him somewhere else to go. RATS team comes in. This nurse doesn't leave my right side through none of this. And I'll tell you why I know this. They do an EKG. They tell me I'm having a heart attack, which is not true. So they give me a nitrous pill. What a nitrous pill does, I was wrong. I ended up doing research after all this shit went down. But a nitrous pill thins your blood out so much, so it causes your heart to pump blood more easily. Well, I'm given the nitrous pill, and it feels like everything's going into overdrive. Everything moves extremely fast. So in less than a minute, when this starts kicking in, I sit straight up out of my bed. I grab the doctor by his forearm and just latch right onto it, and I go, "I don't feel good," and then boom, I'm out. My heart stopped. I come to, and what is an instant to me is apparently about a minute, maybe more. of them reviving me. Uh, I go out. I come to. The guy's doing chest compressions to start my heart back up. I actually take, and so all my ribs are broken on this side. I still have a permanent piece of broken bone there. So I actually take my left hand and I push the guy off me doing CPR. And everyone's jaw is on the floor because the guy that just went into cardiac arrest just was revived and pushed the guy off of him doing doing chest compressions. So if anyone wonders like if I'm a fight or flight person, I'm a fight person. Although I would rather flight. But when your back's against the wall, I think that's really that's who you see. That's who comes out. If anyone knows me, I hate confrontation. So the reason I know that nurse never left my side was because she was latching on to my right forearm and I thought she was gonna break it. This poor fucking nurse is holding on to my right forearm so hard. She's crying. I don't think she I don't think anyone in that room expected me to live through that. So, in pure me fashion, after I push the guy off me, I go, what's going on? And the doctor goes, you just went into cardiac arrest. My exact words are, oh, that sucks. I go, what the fuck is with that nitro? If that's what it feels like to be on meth, why the fuck do people do that shit? Now at this point, I think, nitro speeds your heart up. I was wrong. So, so I look over at the nurse that's holding on to my arm, and she's crying, and I put my hand on top of hers, and I go, are you okay, honey? She's like, no, baby, you're fine. You're fine, baby. All I could do was try to calm her down. I go, I'm alive. I go, you're crying. She's like, it's bad. Fine. She couldn't even fucking look at me. So if this is one of the multiple reasons why I cannot stand for nurses being treated like shit. So they have to rush me off to find out what's really wrong with me. They still don't know what the fuck's wrong with me at this point. Excuse me. Oh, fuck yeah. Now, my parents live 3.5, 4 hours away. This is February. It's actually a pretty shitty February for down here. My mom has an amazing superpower. It's a shitty superpower. She walked up as I was going into cardiac arrest. My mom's a fucking pain in the ass, but I love her. She walks up. She has no idea what room I'm in. She walks up to a hallway filled with people. And, she just knew something was wrong. she walks over to the nurse station and goes, I need I'm looking for my son's room. She told me she had a feeling that was my room, or the people were outside of. And this fucking moron nurse. I'm sorry, this will be too. Just goes, let me get the chaplain. Don't. My mom just immediately thinks I'm dead. So, from what she tells me, she just throws her glasses, screaming, "Is my son dead?" Technically, I was. So, they revive me. They wheel me out. I get to see her. As they wheel me out. Say I love you. I go get tests done, and then they wheel me into ICU. What had happened was I was coughing so hard that I broke a blood vessel in my left pleural cavity, which caused my left chest cavity to fill with blood, which was crushing my lungs and my heart. Sorry. The only way for me to survive this was I had to be awake for a chest tube. I had a very short conversation with the surgeons that did this, and I dealt with this team twice. They're fucking amazing. But I just go, what if, he goes, we have to chest tube you to drain your chest. I go, okay. I go, what if we don't do this? He goes, well, you're going to have a short, painful life. And I go, what's short? Because at this point, I don't want any more pain, to be honest with you. So, he goes, probably a couple months. I'm like, fuck. I go, okay. What are the chances you kill me during this? Like, me going into a heart attack while they do this, any complications? He goes, not a good chance. He goes, but from the pain you could go into have a heart attack. He goes, you have better chances of coming out of this alive than you do dead. So I think I had like a 70-30. Obviously it worked out. So I says to him, I go, well, you guys already killed me once today. And the only way out seems to be through. Let's get this shit done. He hands me the paper. I sign off on it. And true to form, here comes my mom and a chaplain. Motherfucker. I just signed a paper to do a surgery. Mind you, a very painful surgery that could possibly kill me. Seconds before she walked up. I couldn't look at her. I realized what had to be done. Couldn't look at my mom and tell her that might be it. So I talked to the chaplain. Mind you, I don't believe in God, by the way. Especially not after this. I looked at the chaplain. I talked to my mom. I just couldn't look at her. Just go, Mom, I love you very much, but you have to go. She gave me a kiss in my head. I squeezed her hand. Then I asked him to leave. That's one of the difficult parts. So, this is where I can lighten shit up a little bit. So, so this surgeon's a fucking robot, by the way. He's very good at what he does. So is the other person on the team, which they both end up doing the surgery on me twice. But they come in, they have to give me local anesthetic. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can get this on camera. This is what I have to be awake for this. It's not as prevalent, but that's the first scar. I'll post pictures on Instagram, but which I'll do every year for a long time on this day. But then I'll post a video of the tube getting pulled out of me. But so they give me local, and he's basically he has to cut it open, and then in between my ribs, he has to take his fingers and break, basically like just agitate the shit out of the muscle so it loosens up, so it's easier for the tube to go through. And by the way, if you ever get cut by a scalpel, which is super fucking sharp, it still hurts a fucking lot. Because he did cut open some areas without any local on it, and so I am skipping over some shit, but it's pointless. So the head surgeon comes in, and he doesn't do the surgery this time, but he's overwatching it, and he's there to make sure. He comes in and he goes, "How much Dilaudid have you given Mr. Melcher?" And they go, "We gave him a quarter of it," and he just goes, "You need to give him everything you possibly can. This is going to be extremely painful." By the way, I've looked this up since, obviously. This apparently is more painful than giving childbirth. Since I'll never give childbirth, I'll take it with a grain of salt, and I'll say I've experienced childbirth pain in a very small window. But I am not by any means taking anything away from women, because that's long hours of childbearing, and some of you do it more than once, so fucking crazy. So this dude's, like I said, this dude's a fucking robot, and he's breaking down. So naturally, if any of you do know me personally, or you hang out in my streams or anything like that, I can be charming. So I have befriended one of the ICU nurses during this very short window, and this surgeon has his fingers literally between my ribs. I'm holding this hand up here so he can, do all the prep work, and this nurse, he's just like, he's in and out, and I'm just talking, and I just go, "Hey, any of y'all hungry?" And this nurse, he just walked through the veil, or the curtain for my unit, and I look at the surgeon and the other surgeon helping with the surgery, and then I see that nurse stick his head back in, and he, literally kind of like in a TV show, he goes, "Why?" I go, "Do any of you want to go for ribs after this?" So the nurse just goes, "You son of a bitch," and he walks back out. The surgeon's laughing. The robot is laughing so hard, he's literally fingering my fucking ribs. And it hurts, but at this point it doesn't fucking matter. And so then that nurse sticks his head back in and he goes, "Hey man, you talking about Ray Ray's hog pit?" And I put this hand up and I put a thumbs up. He's like, "Yeah," and he walks out. By the way, any of you in the Columbus area, go to Ray Ray's hog pit, man. That's the best. I don't know if I could give a better shout out. I'm not sponsored by them, obviously, but I will. I'm much love to those people. I love their ribs. I managed to stick in a joke while I'm getting my life saved. So then it gets down to the point of them sticking the chest tube in, and he just goes, "Hey man, you ready?" And I go, "Nope, just fucking do it." That's exactly what I says to him. I just fucking do it, man. He doesn't counter nothing. He goes, "Okay." Bam! Fucking 2 foot of rubber hose in my chest. I don't go out. It definitely was, as far right now, that's the most painful thing I've ever experienced in my fucking life. Within 15 minutes, they've drained a liter out of my chest. I would have this one in for 4 or 5 days. I would then leave the hospital for 4 days. I actually went to a shooting class on the 4th day. I outshot an entire class while I had broken ribs and I was internally bleeding. I didn't know about the internally bleeding thing. Next day, I would cough and break another rib, or what was left of my ribs. End up back in the hospital and then go through the surgery all over again. So, so that is what I experienced 2 years ago today around this time. I'm pretty sure my surgery happened somewhere around 1 o'clock. So I'm a little early on that, which I'm not going to make this last fucking a super long time. But where do I go from here? Well, dealing with, I know, probably some traumatic brain injury from my brain not getting oxygen for as long as it, like, I'm not as quick as I used to be. I was never a wordsmith before, but there are, like, it's harder for me to find words from time to time. So I definitely deal with that. I definitely deal with survivor's guilt. I feel like I took someone else's spot that day that should be alive instead of me. I know that's not true. I know that I didn't take someone else's spot, but my brain doesn't think that way. Consciously, I understand it's not true, but subconsciously, I can't help that thought creep in. So I'll deal with that, as long as a lot of people have experienced what I've experienced, which it's a lot, but it's not. So, for anyone that has noticed or that I've befriended, especially in the past 3 or 4 months, I stream a lot. I do YouTube videos. This is my motivation. This is, even if nothing comes out of it, it keeps me busy, keeps my brain busy. Of course, I would like to transition and this be my full-time shit, but if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I had a great conversation with my friend James from the UK of, if it helps one person, like our stories or our like any of this shit, our jokes, or people enjoy us watching streaming or anything, like, he goes, that would be worth it. And you hear that from a lot of people that are celebrity. I think that's a horrible goal. Yeah, would it be great if you helped one person? Yeah, that'd be fucking awesome. I don't want to help one person. I want to help multiple people. So that's what I want to do. Like, and listen, I understand a lot of you fucking don't care about what the fuck I do, and that's fine. I don't really care, but it helps me. And I think that's all that really matters. In the end, I'm helping myself first, but I do want to help other people. And if that second part can come, that just makes it that much sweeter. So I'm not gonna plug any of my shit. Um, but I did want to share my experience. Finally, um, on the day it happened, around the time it happened, uh, as if anyone else hears this story and they have something similar, maybe they can relate. Maybe they can find a bit of funniness in this, or like see what I'm doing. Like I said, this shit, it may not work out for me. It may not, but I have fun doing it. Um. Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, Four Roads is not small batch, but regular bourbon. It's good. Here's my review of it. Fucking smell. Yeah, I can smell one Russell right now because I'm a crybaby. Tastes good. Tastes like a bourbon. Buy it. Um. But yeah, be nice to nurses, everyone, especially with everything that's going on right now. I think. I think that's it. Um. Everyone be good to each other. Thank you. Bye.